Yo, welcome back into the channel, Autopilot East. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate y'all as always. Everyone, we got a next destination up here in terms of where we're going. So I'm ready. Tron 2.0 is ready. FSD is ready. Well, we'll be ready. I hope you all ready too. Man, let's do this thing, man. It's been a minute since I've been on here, so I'm ready to rock and roll. All right, so we got the green light. FSD is on. We got to make this right turn here at the light, and then we crush it. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, we got about 22 minutes, 8.8 miles to get to our destination. I hope there's not a lot of foolishness out here today. I really do hope so, but we'll see how this drive turns out to be. Now we got a pedestrian walking across the street. FSD kind of slows down for them, and then we got to pull up here to the light that is red. Interesting enough, y'all, we're on FSD version 14.3.6. So I got an update probably like a week or two ago, and it moved from 14.3.5 to 14.3.6. So definitely it's been interesting to see how Tesla has been steadily rocking out these updates, pushing out these updates to everyone. And so I'm thankful about that, because for a long period of time, a long stretch, we didn't really have a good amount of pushes for FSD updates, but now we're starting to see this roll out more and more again. It just sucks because I don't have time to test the difference between the two builds, which I wish I did, but yeah, this is where we are. Now, profile is in standard, and we got to make the left to get to 280 West up here. Everyone, if you remember, this thing right here, 280 West, has been blocked off for the longest time, but I believe they finally opened it back up. And so now we should be good to roll right through the light and get over to 280 West. Now we got this car here. They stop for us. FSD keeps rolling, and now it's opened up back up, which is crazy. The yellow light is there, and FSD still rolls through, which is awesome. Thankfully, it was able to do that, because, man, oh man, in the past, y'all, I have seen instances where it doesn't push it, but it's a long yellow light, so I'm glad it just went right through it. Now we got to merge here to left lane. Not a merge, but we got to get over to left lane, because this lane that we're in right now is going to be an exit. And I hope FSD makes the left turn signal soon. And now it pushes it, but we have a car in back of us, and it slowly creeps into the left lane. Okay, that's awesome. All right, great. So we're going to be on here for a little bit, but we got to get to Maplewood, y'all. And interesting and good part about this going to Maplewood, y'all, is that I took off no tolls just on purpose to make sure we can kind of see how it does on the city streets, because I don't want to mess with the tolls and then it kind of mess us up, because thankfully between Newark and Maplewood, it is quite close. Now we're in the right lane, which is good. Now we get over to the left lane, and if I'm not mistaken, okay, yeah, I just want to make sure, y'all, we are not on no tolls. So we're gonna take this out to 280 West on left 3 lanes. Y'all, I apologize, y'all, for not being on and doing a full-length video. I've been focusing a lot more so on my shorts, but I'm glad to be here, and we'll see how the rest of this drives go, because we still got 14 more minutes. Now, this lane right here is the lane that people are going to be merging into from this long line of cars on the right. I would love if FSD kind of sprung it to the left here, because we're going to get off at exit 10, so we don't need to be in this lane. But FSD still stays steady here. Y'all, I've noticed too, not on this build, but on other builds too as well, when there is a line that is solid, FSD will still put on a turn signal and turn left or also right, which I find to be curious, because I would assume that it would not, but I've been noticing no matter what the build is, it still does it, especially when I'm exiting from New York City. I've seen that a lot, where it's crossing the white solid line when it should not be doing it. It's supposed to stay in the lane. The other thing I've been noticing too as well, which I don't know if it's something specific that Tesla needs to do or how they would do it, but the right on red. So usually the right on red is okay. It's fair game as long as there's no sign that says no turn on red. But lately, on each build, FSD will decide to turn right on red when the sign clearly is noted saying no turn on red. So there's something that needs to be fixed with that for certain. There's got to be. I don't know what it is that they have to do to it, but whatever it is, they got to fix that. Not saying it's an issue, but it is kind of an issue because if there's a police officer around the way, that's an immediate ticket. And we can't blame it on FSD. Police officers not gonna want to hear that. They're like, yo, I don't care about that. You still driving the car though. It's under your supervision. So, man, it's gotta be fixed though. Now we're getting off here at exit 10. And then it looks like we should be turning or going straight or right. Okay, going to the left. Okay, that's perfect. So at the light, we got to make the left, and now we're in the right. Oh, ooh. I'm glad that car was steady still because that would have been a bad moment. Now we're making a left turn here at the light, and we are in the right lane. We could have been in this lane or the one to the right of us, but we're in a good lane, and this car is sticking out. Both of these cars actually are sticking out and past the line. I don't know how that happens, but okay, FSD still moves around them, even though we got cars on the right-hand side of us too as well, making a left turn lane. And oh my goodness, look at the traffic here. Dang, I'm glad we ain't going that way, y'all, because that would have been brutal there. Now on this build, I haven't noticed really any sort of changes, or should I say noticeable changes. It's been different because of course every new build brings its own challenges. So, and sometimes it's better or for worse, but thankfully I think we've gotten out of the place where Tesla was taking 2 steps ahead and also 1 step behind. So I think that's past it, but I'll put up the notes, y'all, about what this build is about, but I don't think there's really no noticeable changes. I'm still waiting on the pothole thing to get figured out. I would love for them to get that figured out sooner rather than later because, oh my goodness. Now we got to make the left turn. We got to make the left turn up here at the light, but we're going to be held here. I think this light isn't the best because it's not long enough for all the cars that we have in this lane to make the left, which is crazy. And I think what might happen is that there's cars on the right that are only supposed to be going straight, but they're probably not going to go straight. They're probably going to try to merge here into our lane or get over because they don't want to wait in this long line. But let's see. And we're not even going to make the light. Now we do have the green light, and we do have to make the left turn here at the light. And FSD just follows the cars, and then we are good to go. Y'all, I haven't told y'all about the spot we're going to, but we're going to Village Trattoria, I think it's called. Trattoria, something like that. I pronounced it all messed up and whatever. But yeah, we're going to that spot. It's another piece of spot that I'm going to in Maplewood to kind of see how this is compared to the other piece of spots. So feel free, make sure to catch out that short when it drops alongside this video too as well. Now we got a speed radar here, little sign there. We are cruising at 29, but even something like that, y'all, like, you know what I mean? Like, I wish the car at some point can determine, like, oh, like there's a radar there, not from the police officers, but something like that, where there's a sign and then it's reading how many miles you're going. So that way we don't have to drop this thing down to sloth, because in standard it's going to go over 25, and even in chill it's going to go over 25. So I've had to drop this thing down to sloth to make sure it wouldn't go above 25. But That's the only thing I wish, y'all. Do y'all remember in Hardware 3 where you could literally set the speed by dialing it in, up or down, increasing it or decreasing it? But now we don't have that option no more, where now it's more so we have the profiles, and the profiles, depending upon how Tesla has set it, will determine our speed. Which I don't know. I wish there was an option for us to kind of keep it, but I get it. With FSD, you kind of have to keep it standard across the board. We can't keep giving people too many options because then Tesla can't really regulate it as much as they want to. So I do miss that part about Hardware 3. Even though Hardware 3 got their FSD 14 Lite update, that's gone now, and it's been gone since then. But yeah, I missed that part where you can kind of go up and down here. So even like this one right here, school limit here, we're going 26. The thing says 20. It looks bad. Now, thankfully, we have other cars out here, right? But imagine if we didn't have other cars. Yeah, that would be a bad moment. Because I already know in Maplewood, y'all, police is hanging out everywhere. Everywhere. Legitimate everywhere. In the trees, in the bushes, I don't know, but in the cut, everywhere. Now, we got this little winding road here, and FSD is doing great on this winding road. And then we only got 8 minutes, 2.6 miles to get over there. I will say, y'all, as y'all know, I always got to add some commentary about something. Man, are these houses nice in this area over here. Oh my goodness sakes. It is super nice over here in this area. The greenery, the nice houses, the big houses, people walk in, people on a bicycle with their dogs. Yeah, it's a beautiful time over here, especially with the nice weather out here, the little hills. Now we're slowing down here for this car here, and the FSD makes the kind of a maneuver to the right there. It's kind of interesting when it decides to put on a turn signal versus not. I guess if the car was stopped, then maybe it would have put on a turn signal. But being that it wasn't stopped, it was still kind of moving, just decided just to maneuver around it just a little bit, even though we didn't have to. Now we got to make this left turn here. There is a car that's coming right ahead of us, and FSD still makes the left turn. That's good, because I would have done the same, because sometimes it waits. Person backing out their driveway, FSD sees it, and then we keep this thing rolling. But yeah, look at the greenery out here, especially with the trees here. Oh my goodness. Talk about suburbia and nature in the same vibe, in the same city. Man, is that smooth. Now we're pulling up here to a stop sign, and it's kind of almost similar, like a winding kind of turn that we got up here. And yeah, this is on a decline hill, coming down on it, and then we got to make, at the stop sign, make a right. Thank goodness we don't have to make a left, but we're making a right. Probably got to wait on this car here to also make the right, which they probably do after this car. They do. And then I would love for FSD to do it after us too, but it's not going to do it. The person in the left kind of gives us, not a wave, but gives us enough room to get in, and FSD decides to take it. Now we got to go straight through the light. So far, y'all, it's been pretty solid. It's been pretty good on FSD on this particular version. No issues that I've noticed so far, even on doing a little bit of semi-highway and some back roads. We still got more time to go, but so far, so good. Now, the one thing, y'all, I also have to mention, with FSD being able to utilize the parking options, right? Let me hold that thought. Wait on this car here to make the left lane turn. Well, maybe to turn left, and we keep it moving. With the parking options, right? So FSD now gives us the pullover or the park option, where we could park in a driveway, street, and elsewhere, right? The only issue that I have is that I wish we can select which, if we're going in like a garage or something, or are we going in a parking lot, I wish I can select where I want to park at. Now, I know that's probably giving it too much options, but it'd be nice if we would be able to pull in to the parking lot and scan the area, and then I just select on the thing, boom, click it, and then it parks wherever I wanted to go. That would be smooth. That would be nice, because sometimes I don't want to park where it tells me to park. Sometimes I want to park a little bit further back, or maybe I'm feeling a little lazy today, and I'm like, I don't want to get the steps in. Let me pull a little bit up. I've got to make this left turn here. FSD makes a left turn here. So something like that, I wish there was an option, but we probably ain't gonna get that option no time soon. Now we maneuver around this car, which is good. And then we got another little winding road here. And FSD is really literally just crushing this thing on today. Car makes the left there. And then we got some cars on the right, car on the left here. FSD is good with that. Now we got a little stop sign here coming up. FSD is going 26. See, that's the interesting part, right? Where we're in standard and somehow FSD decides to go 26, but sometimes it'll go 30. I don't get it. Now we got to always stop here, which is great. And we take our sweet time, and then we move past a little always stop. And then as soon as you got 1 minute in, y'all, before you close out FSD, it gives you the option to park, street, parking lot, pull over. Of course, I'm going to do probably the parking. I don't even know if they have a parking lot, so I'm going to park on the street. And I wonder, y'all, and I know downtown Maplewood is super busy, so I wonder which parking space is going to select if I'm saying it on the street. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I wish as I'm pulling up to the spot, it's scanning the area, and then it pulls it up sort of like a head over view, and then I could just plug it in and be like, click, boom, there we go. So here it is. So now we got park, park, park. There's no parks here. I know it's not going to be any parks because it's downtown Maplewood, and somehow, some way, FSD, what's it going to do? I don't know what it's going to do. It puts on a turn signal, and it parks in something that we can't park in. Can't do that. All right, y'all, let me find a park. And y'all, catch this short. I'll see y'all later.